Imagine walking down a dark street alone. A stranger offers you a drink, a chance to escape your troubles for a while. But as you step into their home, a chilling realization dawns. You may not walk out alive. This is the terror that haunted the streets of Milwaukee for over a decade. This is the story of Jeffrey Dahmer. Dahmer wasn't just a serial killer, he was a monster who preyed on the vulnerable, driven by a twisted need for absolute control. His crimes were unspeakable, his mind a labyrinth of darkness. But what made him this way? Was he born evil, or did something shatter his humanity? Jeffrey Dahmer was born in 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His childhood was marked by instability and emotional neglect. He was a shy, withdrawn child, fascinated by dead animals and their anatomy. As a teen, his isolation deepened. Alcohol became his escape, and dark fantasies consumed his thoughts. In 1978, an 18-year-old Dahmer picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks. Lured back to Dahmer's home, Hicks was murdered, marking the beginning of Dahmer's horrific killing spree. From this first act of violence, an insatiable desire for control and position took root within him. Dahmer's crimes weren't just about murder. He sought to transform his victims into submissive, mindless beings, his own grotesque creations. He experimented with crude lobotomies, injecting substances into his victims' brains while they were still alive. Dahmer's need for domination extended far beyond death. He preserved bodies and body parts, some of which he consumed, seeking ultimate possession over those he had killed. For years, Dahmer slipped under the radar. He served in the army briefly but was discharged due to alcoholism. He drifted, his pattern of violence escalating. Dahmer typically targeted young men of color, often at gay bars or bus stops. Luring them with promises of alcohol or money, he would drug, kill, and dismember his victims. Dahmer's apartment was a house of horrors. Polaroids depicted his victims in gruesome poses. Skulls and body parts were meticulously stored. Dahmer meticulously documented his vile acts, as if savoring the memories. His apartment was less a home, and more a macabre shrine to his depravity. In 1991, Dahmer's reign of terror finally ended. One intended victim, Tracy Edwards, escaped and alerted police. Upon entering Dahmer's apartment, officers witnessed the unimaginable. Dahmer confessed to 17 murders, providing chillingly detailed accounts of his crimes. Dahmer's trial captivated the world. His plea of guilty but insane raised complex questions about criminal responsibility and mental illness. Despite evidence of severe mental disturbances, he was ultimately found sane and sentenced to multiple life terms. In 1994, Dahmer was killed in prison by a fellow inmate. To understand Dahmer is to delve into the darkest corners of the human psyche. Here are some key insights offered by experts. Severe mental disorders diagnoses including borderline personality disorder, schizotypal personality disorder, and paraphilias likely played a significant role. Childhood trauma, emotional neglect, early exposure to death, and complex family dynamics may have set the stage for his later depravity. Obsession with control. Dahmer's murders were about absolute power over his victims both in life and death. Loneliness and isolation. Dahmer craved connection, but his social awkwardness, alcoholism, and unspeakable desires made healthy relationships impossible. The Dahmer case forces us to confront the monstrous darkness that can lurk within seemingly ordinary individuals. Share your thoughts below. Can true evil be explained? And how do we protect ourselves from predators in our midst?